Let me hear that back. Let me hear that back. So new life.
Hey everyone, it is me, Erica, and guess what? We're bringing a new show to you guys called In the Lab. We will be doing STEM experiments right here through the screen, and I'm going to teach you exactly what I will teach in person. Every experiment that we do is my first time doing it as well, so you will see real reactions, but you will learn real concepts. Sometimes people just need to see with their eyes to believe. Every week, we will bring you new experiments, new reactions, new concepts, all in our Glow Lab. I would also like to introduce you to our Skycam, so that you can see things from all views and perspectives. We're gonna start our first experiment. I call this experiment Under Pressure. Here's a couple of things that you will need if you wanna try this at home. Water, vinegar, salt, tea lights, a lighter, and maybe some droppers. If you don't have droppers, a spoon, or you can just really pick it up yourself. We're not opposed to using our hands. I would advise maybe to use gloves, but we are hands-on over here, so we don't have gloves today. You will also need a bucket of sorts to kind of catch the water. You will need an oven rack or some type of rack that can hold. What you will need is 2 ice cubes. I'm gonna show you how pressure really affects your body. So we have 2 buckets, and my sky camera is getting all of this. Yes. All right. We take our oven rack. What you want to do is take 2 ice cubes. So I actually made my ice cubes, and I used dye to kind of differentiate. And as you can see, we're already starting off rough. Let's call this employee Aqua. Let's call this employee Ruby. Ruby and Aqua. They are the same size, just 2 different colors. So these 2 pieces of ice represent 2 employees that work at the same building. Same manager, they have the same role. One of these employees, they're able to handle burnout a lot better. So right now, none of these ice cubes are melting. I have my water, vinegar, and salt. I'm gonna slowly start adding some of these concepts. So right now I have water. This is water. Now this water represents emails, workload, it's your day-to-day meetings, you know, these are all of your duties, all of your responsibilities. I'm gonna give equal amounts to it. And as you can see from above, so I did about 5 drops. I'm gonna do 5 over here. Maybe this employee over here takes on some extra stuff. They're taking on some team activities. They might be taking on some additional meetings. They might fill in for their boss. They might have extra duties. Whereas this person, yeah, they're just chilling. They're taking it all in. And they're doing it a little slower, you know. They have a little burnout. But this person, you know, they just want to keep going. They're trying to get promoted. This person is trying to get a pay raise. And they're just taking it on. Piling it on. Now, if you can't see, what I'm seeing down here is, although a lot of this that's dripping off is workload, as you can see, some of these duties aren't getting done. Also, there is a bit of dye in some of this as well. Red, this Ruby, she's handling her job pretty well over here. Whereas our Aqua, he's taking it on. He's taking it on. He's not stopping. He's trying to keep up with the newest trends in the workplace. He's trying to keep up with all the demands of his day-to-day. And although he's getting work done, some of it is still not being received. So that's our work duties. As you can see already, there's definitely some things at the bottom. Some missed assignments. We even have a pocket right here full of just work. So again, all right. Now, toxic work environment. Now, toxic work environments, they pretty much exist in all places, right? So you can't really escape them. So for this, I'm gonna put half of the same thing because they're both in the same environment. So you really can't control that. So we're gonna do half and half. And right now I'm just still going around and I'm adding toxicity, right? This is gossip. This is bad management. This is unsafe work conditions. These are pointless meetings that could have been an email. Drama and cliques. And again, we are adding equal parts because both of these employees are subjected to the same environment. Now, this is something that can be controlled at a higher level, but some employees might indulge. So Mr. Aqua, because you're taking on extra work, you're indulging in gossip just a bit more. Aqua's dripping a bit more now because, hey, we're a little frustrated. So, hi Sky Camera. Ruby is still dealing with this at a slower rate than Aqua. Although we're doing this in real time and I'm putting all of this stuff on at the same time, it is one of those things where this could happen over years. The salt, one thing about salt in real life is that salt can be very beneficial to our body. Now, a lot of people have the misconception that salt burns, and it does give off a heating sensation. But in reality, salt actually brings down the freezing point of ice. Salt in this case can represent you internalizing feelings and emotions, and we're gonna just sprinkle it on. These are pent up emotions about work conditions. This is pent up things about taking on these additional tasks. This is the things you don't tell everybody. These are the feelings from home. You know, we're gonna put some on because this person has internalized feelings as well. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this ice is actually cracking. But what does this represent? Our body gives us signals all the time when it's tired, when it's frustrated. Burnout symptoms can always include physical tension in your bones, muscle tension. You can get disrupted sleep, disruption, brain fog. You can get fatigue. You can also get heart palpitations and develop anxiety. I'm gonna take a light and I'm just gonna show you from above what this kind of looks like. You can see this toxic work environment. You can see this ice actually has a hole in it. It's very fragile. When I messed up the person. All this is over time. This is a very slow process, but already you can see that the blue, our aqua here, is melting at a faster rate. This one is not holding up as well as this one. The final test, we're going to put tea lights in here and we're going to actually add some fire. And here's where most people crash out. All right, so in this process, I'm going to add fire. I'm going to put the fire right on top of the ice, and as you can see, this is already affecting the fire. Oh wow, we already have one of them out for everyone. It put it out again. The fire in this case represents deadlines, it represents micromanagement, it represents pressure, it represents all of that hard, and I can't even relight the candle, you guys. Look at the rate in which this is burning. The fire represents deadlines, it represents a manager, it could represent just events that you guys are trying to do as a team. It represents those firm things that have to be done, budgets and things of that nature. Ruby is dealing with this, but clearly not at the same rate as Aqua. There is some drippage, but it's at a much slower pace. And I can actually feel the heat. That's interesting. I can feel the heat coming off of this. So let's do a recap really quick. So again, we have two ice cubes. They're relatively large. I have Ruby over here and I have Aqua over here. Now Aqua represents an employee that is an overachiever, that's aiming to be promoted, that is aiming to succeed. And although Aqua has this high achieving attitude, she is putting herself at risk by taking on too many responsibilities. Ruby here, this person is not necessarily a slacker. This is just a person who does their job and knows when to say no and knows how to set boundaries with themselves as well as with others. We placed vinegar, which represented a toxic work environment. So we know what that means. That's all the gossip, all of the cliques, all of the drama. So we added equal parts of the toxic environment to the ice. However, I added just a little bit more toxicity to this ice because this person is a person, because of their overindulgence in work, they have a knowledge of levels that they might not should know. This person also is in a toxic environment as well. However, this person is able to stay away from some of those conversations. We also added water, which was just room temperature water. And this is your daily workload. These are emails, these are meetings, this is coming in and grabbing coffee. This is your day-to-day that you typically do. We added equal parts up until Aqua wanted to do more to stand out from the rest of the team. Aqua took on way more work duties. They took on more roles. They took on more challenges just to prove that they can handle what they believe the next level will have. This put Aqua at a disadvantage very early because Aqua was overwhelmed. Salt was supposed to represent the internal feelings that we feel because salt often works within. So everything that we feel about our job, even things that we feel outside of our job and bring to work, as I'm touching it now, the salt has hardened. And again, we talked about how burnout has physical body symptoms. So those random headaches that you receive after work, or just wanting to go to sleep, wanting to overindulge in food, wanting to doom scroll, having muscle tension and needing to get a massage, all of those things are from burnout. Believe it or not, it's not just you being tired. You are literally burning out. All right. And then the last attribute that we had was this candle, this tea light. Now we actually started with 3 tea lights, and immediately as soon as we started applying too much heat, this piece of ice, Aqua, instantly started to melt, and it actually put those lights out. Now we still have one burning, so Aqua can maintain 1 candle. However, if you look from our sky cam, you can already see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is definitely way more water at the bottom of this one than it is in this one. All right, so, okay. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's actually, you can kind of see it like right there. There's a dent from the candle burning. And then if you look here at Ruby, Ruby is still pretty much intact. Ruby's burning pretty slow. With side by side of what we're dealing with, you know, there's clearly a dent. You can see with the light right there. Clearly we can see that Aqua needs a vacation. Aqua is gonna need a vacation really soon. Aqua is gonna be calling out. Aqua is going to quit if Aqua melts completely down. We need to aim to be Ruby. Ruby is solid. Ruby, although she's not an overachiever, although she is not a person who's going above and beyond, she is a person who is setting her boundaries and able to be consistent. There's not a high achieving and then a low burnout. There is simply consistency. All right, y'all, so that is the end of this. Tune in for more of In the Lab with me, Erica at Intrinsic, and we'll be back for more episodes soon.
Get down, girl, go ahead, get down, girl, go ahead. Let me hear that back.